My next guest went all the way to Australia and came back with a win. He's coming off a victory over Jack Jenkins, UFC 293, September 9th. It's Chepe Mariscal. Now 2-0 in the UFC. Chepe, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, just chilling right now.
That's good. Well, thanks for having me part of your chill time. Before we talk about the fight, how was it fighting outside of North America, the travel, all that? Because that was a new thing for you.
Uh, Actually, it hasn't been. I used to. I was on the USA kickboxing team, and we've
Right.
traveled to Brazil. We traveled to Ireland. I've traveled to Russia,
Mhm.
to Canada to help others fight there. I got used to the, like, resting and eating the right things and getting ready for
Mhm.
the flight and to feel good. Like I was like getting up. In the flight, like walking around, stretching out, getting my body ready and mentally, ready for, Australia, time zone. You get me?
Mhm. Was there anything challenging? Like again, you mentioned all the experience and earlier in your career, but MMA wise, this was a first for you.
Oh yeah, yeah, true, true. Yeah, um, yeah, it was. Uh, yeah, it was. The first week was good. I felt good. I was getting, I was in great shape. I had good practices, but then like fight week, like I started like getting a little sick. Like I started like feeling a little like off, and I was like, damn, is it like from the flight or is it from traveling? Like right now, like my voice is a little raspy. I'm still like fighting something. I don't know what it is, but uh, it got to me during the weight cut, and then it was a tough weight cut. So even my coaches told me like, hey, we didn't even tell you nothing, but we knew like we had to push you to like make the weight and and get through the sickness, and I did. Mentally I got through it, and I was like, man, I did all that talk. I said I'm gonna go to Australia. I'm gonna go over there and try to finish him. So I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna be a man of my word. My mom's always told me that, go be a man of your word. So that's what I did. I went. I showed up. Um, Obviously, the first round was obviously his round. Like he earned it. He threw some nice leg kicks. Obviously it did some damage, but it only brought more of my fighter IQ. I started like I was like, okay, well, I don't want to take any more kicks. So I'm gonna close him into the cage. Do my dirty boxing. Keep the pressure. And when I put people on the cage, I just gotta think of like I know like I could feel your breathing. I could
Mhm.
feel like it's changing. You sound worried now. You're not breathing like normal. You're like, like and then you're gonna hold your. Some guys, if they're not experienced of being held and breathing, they'll hold their breath in positions. So I felt like Jack was holding his breath in some of the positions, and that's judo. You're moving guys where you want to kind of feel them where they're not kind of like holding their breath when they're like releasing, so when you throw them, it's a clean throw, you know. So yeah, like I closed him into the cage. I did my thing. I obviously threw a wizard kick, and the what I meant, like I haven't done that move since I was 11 because that's how dangerous it is. Like it's as you can see, this is the first ever wizard kick I ever done in my MMA career
Yeah.
ever. Like I only did it in practice, but I've taught my partners like how to fall. Like you have to go with the throw. Like if you post, you're posting with your little hand, your little arm between your body and my body falling on that. So you could break your hand, even your elbow. If you put your elbow down, your knee down, your foot down. Some guys, even if you look at it in judo in the Olympics, there's even guys give up head positions to the ground to not give up that position, because we naturally don't want to fall on our back, and
Mhm.
Jack didn't want to fall on his back. So he gave up, he kind of like, you can see he was trying to post down and stop the throw, but, that's a dangerous thing. And, I feel bad that, he got that end, but, yeah, it was on him. I just did, a clean judo throw. And that's the thing. My judo is like, I don't like, it's like not like a heavy throw. No, it's kind of like I lift you on your toes and then throw you. I
Mhm.
kind of like evolved my judo from the gi to MMA. And that's the thing. If you don't know how to fall, you can, really get hurt.
So, I mean, you get the win. Were you able to enjoy the win? Like, I know obviously, like, you know, you would have liked like a clean finish here. But like you said, like you were the one who inflicted the damage. How
Yeah.
did you enjoy yourself after the fight? Because it was like morning time there, I think.
Yeah, no, I like that's the thing. Like my coaches were telling me, like you got to make yourself, like you want to be proud of yourself, and that's the thing. I have A1 judo, man. Like if
Yeah,
you tie up with
exactly. Yeah.
me, you hug me, you're gonna go. Like I'm gonna find a way to make you fly, and that's the thing. I have to right now. I'm teaching the MMA world judo. Not everybody sees that in the UFC where the guys are getting thrown like that. Like that's what I did in the Trevor Peak fight. But as you can see, I was doing more hip toss throws, so they're less dangerous, but they're more of a positioning where I get on top, so I could do my ground and pound or get a submission. Obviously it's for a dominant position, but off the wizard kick, that's why it's dangerous. I haven't done that move since I was 11 because I'd thrown a kid like that and he broke his arm. He didn't know how to fall, so he posted and broke his arm, and I felt bad, but we're drilling. It was not even like I was trying to hurt him. It's just if
It
it's
happens.
body
Yeah.
and body. It happens. So, and that's why I never did it in practice like a hard wizard, because if I do a hard wizard, dude, it's gonna hurt my partners. And then what am I gonna be known for, that guy? Breaking arms with my like my good judo. Like obviously, like I practice it where it's sharp enough. But like I said, like I tell my partners how to fall. I even do the throws on Claire. I teach her how to fall. Like I'm trying to master this MMA thing, by my own way, my own art. Like I said, I'm a black belt in judo, and I've only put it in the sport because it's such a hole in people's game. Like a lot of people don't know how to tie up or know how to fall. And throwing people, dude, you get stunned. That was why I could give a good example, like Ronda Rousey. Her throws were so good that she stunned the girl, her opponents, where she could go for the submission. That's part of judo. It's about stunning people and then, going for the submission or the TKO, like that's what I go for now. I know she did it different. She threw and submitted like the same art, but now mine's a little more evolved. I'm adding the ground and pound, a little bit of the submissions, but it's more of like ground and pound, more MMA style. I'm trying to evolve that judo my own way, and not a lot of people have it. So it's like, why not have fun teaching the world about it, you know?
Well said. No, no, absolutely. And you know, again, 2-0, like I mentioned in the octagon, that's a very good feat in such a, you know, kind of a short
So,
period of time, which is still awesome. Because again, those
so
of us have been following your career for a while. Were you surprised going in you were the underdog? I don't know if you saw that.
yeah, man, well, obviously, dude, I'm going to enemy territory or whatever. It's not even enemy territory. Like I loved it there. Like everybody
Yeah.
was cool. I loved everybody. Dude, I even told Claire, like, man, I'd live here just to experience like living outside of the US and traveling a little bit and learning new arts, different cultures and stuff, live a little, Like I only do is like all I do is train, like I've been doing this since I was like little, dude. Like I even did other sports in like high school, but I only did that for like to keep my parents satisfied, like show them that I'm going to school and socializing,
Mhm.
like I'm not just going to judo and jiu-jitsu MMA gym, and like they were trying to make me more of a people person, but it was tough, dude. It's always been tough. I've always been, it's always been tough to talk on the mic and stuff like that. Like I don't know what to say. Like they didn't, like if they trained us in school or they trained the kids like about interviews and stuff like that, dude, they'll be so ready for like, for interviews and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like Claire's great at it because she's done it when she was little. She was doing plays and all this stuff. Like I didn't have that, dude. We were fighting in tournaments where there was like 20 people watching us. We're not on
Yeah.
pay per view and stuff like that. So that's why how I kind of, I knew experience is going to take me a long way in this game right now. And that's what I have. And that's what I wanted to show to people in this fight. Like, hey, man, I was switching my stance. I took Jackson's kicks. I took his striking. I let him punch me a little. Get him a little confident. Get him a little closer. So the second round, he's a little more tired. He already knows he used all his best weapons. Like he has to do a lot more to beat me, and my cardio is a monster right now, dude. I didn't even get tired. Even my coaches were like, "Dude, I didn't even hear you." Like I was just game. I was like, "All right, well." I kind of feel like a little sick, but I'm gonna control my breathing. I'm gonna be analyzed. I'm gonna, get him a little confident. Take advantage in that second round, and that's, as you can see, I have, besides the Trevor Peak fight, I have 4 finishes in a row, in the second round.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
figure you out, I taste you out in the first round, and if you don't kill me, man, you better just know the second round I'm fucking coming.
Got to ask you about the main event. What was your reaction to seeing Sean Strickland win the UFC middleweight title?
Oh, it was great, man. Yeah, I seen maturity in him. Like he got knocked out. He's been like, he's been like he was treated like a clown and stuff like that. Like he had a lot of pressure. And he's changed. Like you can see it through his fighting style. Like he was doing things with more of an IQ. He was checking kicks. He was doing like the Kamaga style. He was blocking all this. He had the Philly boxing style against Izzy. Like that's crazy. And he was pushing the pace. Like he did what a lot of people don't do in the MMA world, and is they stay in that kind of zone where you're reachable. Like you're like, oh, okay, I'm a little fast, I could touch you, but that's what that Izzy, he was fighting. He was fighting Vittori, who does that, Paulo Costa, where they kind of try to get you in those angles where they can touch you, but Izzy had such a great style of being a striker and a sniper where he's jumping tower to tower. He's not staying in the middle with you. And that was what was good is Strickland's style was straightforward, dude. I even told people that were betting, I was like, man, if I was gonna put money, because I don't put money on this stuff, I don't really care. But Strickland, dude, he was that wild card. You always got a wild card in every weight class, bro. There's always somebody putting in work, want it more than the other guy, and that's what happened. And I think Izzy kind of let the crowd get to him and try to break him. Like I wanted to show everybody like I could go against this crowd, like I was there on some Troy shit. I fought in front of him, in front of everybody. I went there, and then I got to drag him out of his own arena. You know, like they had to put him on. They had to drag him out. And that's what's gonna happen when you fight me. Peak wasn't like spotless after my fight. He was beat up and walking around all messed up. Like you got to go through some shit fighting me. Like I've been doing this for a long time. I have a well conditioned body. Like right now, obviously, I have some bruised legs, but I'm gonna ice them up. I'm gonna I'm gonna do a bunch of recovery after these interviews. I already got appointments. Like I got off the plane and got right to work. I started doing icing. Yeah, dude, I just wanna it's like being a racehorse. You want to be the top racehorse, And right now, I want to keep winning these races, which is those wins. And keep putting my name in the mixed martial arts world. Teaching people the judo, the striking, everything I do. It's all technical. Yeah, it's wild, but that's the thing. That's the old school stuff that I was taught growing up. Like dude, like it's 30 years of UFC. And I'm 30 years old. Like I seen this shit growing up. Like I evolved with it, and that's what I was doing with it, but my own way, judo and adding some Muay Thai. You can see I threw knees, I threw elbows in the fight. I threw every weapon, just to show everybody, like, hey, I do MMA. And look, I do throws too. Like he defended the single leg really good, the double. I was trying to, but obviously that's my setup to my judo, and it's hard. Like if you're like I'm learning how to tie up with people, getting them from you know belly to belly or going from the shop, and it's just I'm learning all these new ways and fun ways to do it. And yeah, dude, the dirty boxing too, like all that stuff. Like I was just showing everybody what's up, like and I could be booed, I could be whatever, I could be the bad guy of the night, but no matter what end of the night, you're gonna respect me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Before we go, when do you want to get back in there? You mentioned a bit of recovery. When do you want to have that next fight?
Uh, Man, to be honest, like I know I was like saying I was gonna probably take the rest of the year off and shit, but nah, I don't. I'm already telling people that probably December I want to fight, do
Nice.
some, do something. This is my only job, so it's like might as well. I'm fighting and getting paid and trying to work on those, getting those big contracts and get paid on get on the main card. eligible to get a performance of the night bonus. You know, like why not? You know, I work hard. You know, I fought guys that look. I fought Trevor Peek in 10 days. You know, like I was obviously not training like for a UFC fight before that. You know, like they gave me a full camp. I felt strong. You know, even though I was sick, I still got mentally prepared for all this. You know, for whatever happened, I was gonna go fight, perform, and do nothing but try to get that W.
Chepe, congrats on the win. Looking forward to what's next. And if there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media, I'll give you the last word.
Thanks to Iridium for the opportunities and stuff that they help me with. Thanks to the Elevation Fight team. They always push me. I'm a dog because there's a lot of dogs in there. They just got to believe in, and some of them will readjust and get good. Shout out to my cornerman. Shout out still to Australia. It's still awesome, beautiful, and cool. And shout out to you, dude. That Odyssey game, it was money, dude. It kept me good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, so you ended up getting it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Right now I'm on right now I have to collect like 150 fucking stars, but I obviously put work on it. I did it for like 14 hours straight, dude.
Yeah, you can play that game for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I was like, yeah.
Has Claire played it at all either?
Nah, dude. I've been doing it.
It's all for yourself. It is a one-player game, but yeah, it's so good.
I was like, oh, look over this, it definitely. And she was like resting, she was like she does accounting for an extra job, and stuff. Mm-hmm. So she was doing her stuff, her work, and I was just chilling. And
you're stomping on Goombas and stuff instead,
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. So
cool.
dude. But I appreciate that, and thank you, man.